Friends, hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel Nasrin Padasalai. So today in this video we are going to study about an important topic from unit 9, that is diversity of your life form. So generally people will generally skip out this particular unit since they will think that it is hard, and even though if I studied, many questions won't be asked from this particular unit. Okay, so today I'll be sharing you a tips friends. So in this particular unit I studied a lot. Okay, and you all know in June 2021 CSIR examination, many questions are asked from this particular topic only. Okay, so you no need to study everything friends. Okay, so I will be sharing you important topics at a lecture form of video. So you all know about the phylums. Okay, so you should write like this. So you should if you are studying them para wise, if you take a Pathfinder book, they will give you as a para kind of things. You can't able to study, even though you studied, you can't able to memorize them. So in this video I'm going to share you how you can make a colorful chart, and I'll explain you each and everything. So you need to take a A4 sheet or note paper. You can stick it on and make it them. Okay, so this is how these are the different kind of phyla. Okay, and using a sketch pen you can mark the outline. Okay, so you should take a note kind of thing friends. So first Porifera phylum, and it has a cellular grade of organization, and this Porifera is a diploblastic. Okay, and it has no symmetry, and it has a spicules or spongine fibers, and it has a collar cells, conocytes. Okay, then it has no nerves, no muscles, and it is multicellular in nature. And this particular phylum Porifera has no fixed body shape, and the fertilization and reproduction is that it has both asexual and sexual. So they won't ask you directly friends, they will ask you a particular organism is multicellular and it has no fixed body shape. Like that they will ask you questions. Maybe after this video we will discuss the previous year question paper with you friends. Okay, so next is Cnidarius. It has a tissue grade of organization, and it is a diploblastic, and it has a radial symmetry. Okay, in what plane we cut, it will give you equal halves. Next is this particular organization. It is unique to Coelenterata. It has polyp and medusa. Polyp is the below one and medusa is a cone shaped one. And it has a specialized type of cells called stinging cells or cnidoblast, and this particular cells is generally used for offense and defense. Okay, so it has only mouth and it has no anus. Okay, that's why it is called as incomplete digestive system. And the unique feature of this Coelenterata is that it has an alteration of generation. That is, when both the polyp and medusa forms are found in the same animal, then two forms will alternate in the life cycle. In one life cycle the organism will have only medusa, and in another life cycle organism will have only polyp. That is called alteration in generation. That is unique to Coelenterata. And this is since it is a diploblastic, it has outer epidermis and inner gastrodermis. In between the outer epidermis and in gastrodermis it has a mesogilia, which is nothing but it is a sheet of gelatinous material. Okay, so next is your Platyhelminthes, and this Platyhelminthes is having organ system grade of organization, and it is a triploblastic, and it has a bilateral symmetry. Okay, and it is a acoelomate. So Platyhelminthes acoelomate friends. Okay, so acoelomate means it don't have a coelom itself. Okay, so next parenchymal glands serve as a skeleton. So if you see in Porifera you have the spongine fiber which serves as a skeleton. Okay, whereas in this particular thing parenchymal cell, which is nothing but it is a gland of connective tissue, and it serves as a skeleton. Next, this particular Platyhelminthes is having a blind sac body plan. It means it will have only mouth friends, and it has only single opening, and through the mouth it will intake the food, and through the mouth it will excrete all kind of waste material. And this Platyhelminthes, it will have no digestion, no skeleton, no circulatory, and no respiration. And nervous system, it is having a ladder like kind of nervous system. So you should like a symbol kind of thing, it will be very much helpful. Next, excretion is generally through this flame cell. Flame cells is nothing but, friends, it will be just a circle kind of thing, and this flame cells is also called as protonephrida, and this flame cells is involved in removing waste material from this Platyhelminthes phylum. Okay, next it is the example of Platyhelminthes is your tapeworm and liver fluke. Okay, so next is the fertilization is internal and it is a hermaphroditic animal. Okay, so both the sexes will be present in the same animal. Okay. And next is the phylum Aschelminthes, and it is a triploblastic and it is pseudocoelomate. Why it is calling pseudocoelomate means it won't have coelom itself. It has a false coelom kind of thing. Okay, so it's called no epithelial lining between the body wall and the digestive system. If you see over here, outer epidermis and inner gastrodermis, it will be surrounded by a epithelial sheet. Okay, but here it has no epithelial lining. That's why it is called a pseudocoelomate. And the body wall is made up of cuticle, epidermis, and it also have a muscle layer. And it has both the mouth and anus. So it is called it having a complete digestive system. Whereas your Coelenterata and Platyhelminthes is having an incomplete digestive system. Okay, so next is it has a separate sexes and the fertilization is internal, and the most popular class of this phylum is Nematoda, and the example of this particular phylum is here Aschelminthes. Okay, so next we will study Annelida. Annelida is your earthworm. It is a triploblastic in nature and it is a coelomate, and the symmetry is it is bilateral symmetry. Okay, so other bilateral symmetry is your what? It is your Platyhelminthes. Okay. Radial symmetry, which one is radial symmetry? It is Coelenterata. Likewise, you should study. Metamerically segmented. It means if you see earthworm, it is having a kind of a segmental pattern that is called metamerically segmented. And hydrolytic skeleton mean it will push and move. So the worm will go like this one. So that's called hydrolytic skeleton. And it having a ring-like grooves, it's called annuli. And it is made up of true coelom. It is called due to the presence of the epithelium in the mesodermal. And it has a closed circulatory system just as ours. Okay, so it is a segmental nephritic organ that is for excretion and osmoregulation. So this particular nephritic organ is also found as a segments, and it is used for one is osmoregulation and another one is for excretion. Example of this phylum is your Nereis, earthworm and leeches. Okay, so next is mollusca. Mollusca, it is a triploblastic in nature and it is also a coelomate. Okay, so next is it is also having a bilateral symmetry. Okay, and next it is having a organ system level of organ system level of organization, and it is made up of calcium like cells. Okay, shell wall is made up of calcium. Okay, and it has a rasping trunk like radiola. Okay, it has a tongue and it is called as radiola, and it is used for feeding, and it is have a open circulatory system, which is the blood is allowed to freely move throughout the body. Okay, whereas in Annelida we show a closed circulatory system, and it has a nephridium for waste removal, and it is dioecious, which is also called hermaphrodite, and it has both external and internal fertilization, and also it is oviparous, which means it will lay eggs, and development is that it is indirect in development. Okay, so the example of this mollusca is your squid, octopus, oyster and your cuttlefish. Everyone will belong to this mollusca. Generally in CSER, many questions will be asked from this particular phylum. Okay, so next is your Arthropoda phylum. It is also a triploblastic in nature, and it is coelomate, and it is bilateral in nature. Okay, and it is having a organ system level of packaging, and it is having a exoskeleton which is made up of chitin cuticle, whereas here the exoskeleton is calcium cell, whereas here it is chitinous, and it have a head, thorax and abdomen. If you see any insect, maybe Drosophila, it will have all kind of things, head, thorax and abdomen. Okay, most probably in developmental biology we will study about this particular thing, and it will have a jointed appendages. Okay, and it is also having a open circulatory system just like your mollusca phylum. Okay, so next it is having a hemocoel that is made up of hemolymph. And respiration, arthropoda subclasses include your crustacean, your crabs, your insect and your arachnids, which is nothing but spider. So respiration, crustacean generally respire through the gills and body surfaces. Insect just like trachea. So just like us, it will respire through trachea. and arachnids will have a book lungs. Okay, so excretion, if it is an aquatic arthropod, then their excretion is through this green gland. Okay, whereas it is terrestrial, means it will have a malpighian. Example of aquatic arthropods include your crabs. Okay, terrestrial is your arachnids and your insects. Okay, and the type of fertilization is your internal fertilization. Next is echinodermata. Echinoderms will have a triploblastic. Okay, next is a coelomate. Okay, and larval form, it will have a bilateral symmetry, which is called echinodermata phylum. In its larval form, it will have bilateral symmetry. Whereas when it converted or it grown up into adult, it will have a radial symmetry. Radial symmetry means through any path if we cut, it will cut. Okay, next it is a marine and xanthoic. Xanthoic means it will found under the sea. Okay, so next is it is spiny skinned. Next it has no segmented, whereas your annelids is metametrically segmented. Next thing, it is having no head and it is having a complete digestive system. And it is also have another system called water vascular system. Since it is having a water vascular system, okay, it is also called as umbilical. Okay, and respiration. So your starfish, your you know the starfish now, sea urchin and your brittle star belong to the phylum Echinodermata, and starfish will respire through the papilla or skin gills, whereas your sea urchin will respire through the peristomial gills, and your brittle star will respire through genitalia. And this type of fertilization is your external fertilization. Okay, so this is how you should study for your CSIR diversity of life form, friends. So in the next part of the video, we'll see, I have prepared this particular, we'll see phylum Chordata. Up to that we have seen totally 8 phylum, friends. So starting from phylum Porifera and towards Echinodermata, we studied these. I had prepared based on previous year question paper and other notes that is present in the Pathfinder, and these are important. You don't need to study unwanted things. These will be important, friends. So hope this video will be helpful. Thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video.